Hollow Knight Silksong has literally decimated the AAA, the AA, and of course the indie scene in a crazy fashion. This game has demonstrated that you do not need a massive team of 500 employees, yes, I'm looking at you, Ubisoft, to deliver a game that people may or may not buy. Hollow Knight Silksong may be remembered as one of the games that literally broke Steam for almost like an hour or 2 hours in 2025. This game, guys, is an absolute legend to be seen in real life. The peak of players on Friday, the 5th of September, was 562,814 players. This may even go further in the weekends and months to come when they release even more DLC for this game, which is, by the way, is going to be free DLC because Team Cherry absolutely loves their gamers. And this, guys, is the perfect example why the corporate CEOs, they are saying just absolute bullshit in their announcements, in their justification why a game should cost $70, $80, $90. Do you know why? Because they don't know how to manage and make a game. Hollow Knight Silksong is a game that costs $20. 20 freaking dollars. That is like incredibly cheap for a game that is gonna take you about 40 to 50 hours to finish and up to 100 hours to complete 100%. This is crazy. You have games which are basically 10 hours long, which are being sold by AAA companies for $60 to $70. You have even gaming CEOs who are saying that games should be maybe $90 or $100 because of bullshit reasons such as inflation, cost of development, and all these things. Of course, cost of development is one thing. The problem we have is that the development of games in the AAA scene is right now completely broken. Why's that the case? The case is very simple, guys. AAA games are effectively right now being built by teams which are completely they're completely overloaded with so many people. It is just hilarious. The bloat of these teams and the amount of people and bosses and managers and team leaders and executives and ethics departments and all of these people who are literally doing nothing to make the game better in any shape or form. This is the main issue here we have right now. Whereas Team Cherry, a very tight-knit team, yes, it took them 6 years, but just remember, like other AAA games which have hundreds of people working on the same game, and also they have testers, they have outsourcing, they have obviously like temporary staff, they have interns, so they have sometimes like more than 600 people working on a single AAA game, and it still takes them sometimes 4 or 5 years to make a AAA game, which on release is riddled with bugs, needs another 6 months of updating to be properly playable, and then they say you should pay $70 or $80 at launch because they're struggling. No sir, with this game, Silksong, again, we are seeing the industry imploding in our faces because gamers, they want to play these games. They want to play games which are made with a passion by the developers, and they don't want to play any more games which literally want to rinse your wallet of money for even playing for 5 minutes, right? This is the example. This is exactly what's happening right now. We have more than 500,000 people playing this game who are abandoning games which are made by AAA companies because people have had enough. This is sending a message, like people know what they want. Some people are accusing Team Cherry that, they didn't think about the other indies, they should have announced a release date earlier. I mean, give me a break. These people are an indie company. They only care about their game. Why should they care about the other 1,000 indie developers which are going to launch their game the same month? As a predator, as an apex predator, you don't care about the other predators. I mean, this is going back to basic nature, right? You go to the nature. It's quite a crude example, but that's the truth, right? Go to nature. the tiger never announces they're going to show up like a week before. They just show up from the bushes and that's it, right? They just basically devour you, right? This is the same thing. Team Cherry were very quiet. They just came out of nowhere. They announced a release date a few weeks in advance and boom, they just completely destroyed the market in a good way. This, guys, is again one more nail in the coffin for the current modern generation, modern AAA industry and also AA industry. Indie games are leading the charge right now, and honestly, I am very happy this is happening. The modern game industry needs a reboot. Like, we cannot continue any longer with the bloat we are presented with companies releasing games which are basically broken, with games that have horrible frame rate dips after being in development for 5 years. Games that are literally unplayable, games that go at literally under 30 FPS sometimes, right, on consoles. It just, no, this is just unacceptable. And this is the thing, companies don't get it, but the moment you lose a fan, a gamer, that gamer will not come back to you. You think they might, but that's never the case. EA made that mistake with Dragon Age the Veilguard. They thought that the hardcore fans are going to show up regardless to play their crappy, woke game, and guess what happened? Nobody showed up, only a small portion of them, and the game basically flopped. It did not make the sales they wanted, and we have more and more examples of this. CEOs, executives believe that the gamers are idiots. They believe that gamers can be exploited. They believe that gamers are just some kids that don't understand about the market. They don't know, about things. Gamers are really smart, and if you try to feed the gamers crap, gamers will throw it in your face. Gamers are very smart individuals because guess what? To finish a game, any sort of game, you have to use your brain quite a lot, more than the average person watching Netflix on TV and binge watching for like 4 or 5 hours. Playing video games requires a quite advanced neurological pathways in your brain, and executives don't think about that. They just think that gamers are brain dead players. They just play anything you throw at them and they just buy it and play with it because they're just gamers and they don't know any better. But that's not the case, and again, this just demonstrates that the age of AAA is coming to an end. The age of AAA gaming that is just right now perverse, like overpriced, bloated, quest and open world maps which are riddled with like 1 million icons, fetch quests left, right and center, boring dialogues, ugly graphics, stupid NPCs, bad writing. All these things will come to an end very soon because gamers every single year, they're moving away from buying new games and they're buying more and more indie games every single year. So there will come a time when these AAA companies will have to either adapt or die because gamers are not taking it anymore. And honestly, guys, I am really happy that people are waking up, and Silksong is effectively the side effect of what we've been seeing for a few years now, and this is only going to exacerbate because gamers are turning their backs to these corporations and they would rather give their money to these companies because Silksong is the prime example. You have 500,000 people playing simultaneously at the same time after a few hours after release. Like, what AAA company can even, show these numbers? Very few and far in between can show these numbers. And just remember, Team Cherry was built with a very small budget if we compare that game with the games of likes of Call of Duty, Starfield, I mean you name it, Cyberpunk 2077. You just cannot compare it, and gamers choose the indie above the AAAs. That, guys, should send a message to these corporations, to the CEOs and to the executives that wake the hell up, or literally you will become irrelevant over the next decade because gamers have had enough. So guys, I am really happy to announce that Silksong is also, for me personally, one of the best games of the year. I've been playing it for like a couple of hours now, and honestly, it's so addictive. You cannot stop playing it. It's just impressive. The sound design, the graphics, the gameplay, everything is just top notch, and the cherry on the top from Team Cherry is that paying $20 for this masterpiece just feels like literally almost free. Like, it just feels like you're just giving these people just some pocket money, because the value you're getting from this game is just incredible. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, remember to give a like, subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and this, guys, is one example of how gaming is potentially healing. This is a message to the AAA companies. This one and Schedule 1, which was released also at the start of the year, which also had lots and lots of players, or Schedule 8 it was called, right? Like, these sort of games, which are indie games made by a handful of people, demonstrate that gamers want quality games. They don't care about crazy graphics like photorealistic massive madness graphic cards which are like 580 590 requirements. Like, gamers don't care about these things, man. The gamers care about gameplay and a good story. Graphics, yeah, if it has good graphics, great stuff, but graphics are not the selling point, because graphics, after you play the game for a couple of hours, you get used to it and it does not matter. Graphics is something that it's a good to have, but it's not what's going to sell your game. This is really important. Walking at 30 frames per second, but looking at, oh, look at the textures, look at the HD graphics, look at the details, oh, but it's 30 frames per second, but who cares? No, gamers do care, because gamers care more about the gameplay and the story than your freaking graphics. That's the truth. And hopefully just these AAA companies will wake up one day, because otherwise, guys, they will literally go extinct. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next ones.